Hey guys, it's Crafty Cat, and today I'm going to be following a Sorry Girls tutorial on how to make this really interesting but beautiful looking shelf. Now this is in one of their DIYing Your DMs, I think that's what it's called. It's one of their series on their channel that I really enjoy, so you should definitely go check them out if you haven't already. Oh my gosh guys, I'm so sorry for that last audio clip. Apparently my fan was on, but I don't want to refilm it, so I'm so sorry the entire time you just heard my fan. I am very, very sorry. Oh, also don't forget to subscribe because I would love to hit 400 subscribers. 500 subscribers. Give me a subscribe and a like before we watch the video. So starting off, I got this piece of wood. Okay, so I'm so sorry about the lighting. I just had to pause for a little while because I found out that this is not actually 10 inches, that it was like 7 1/4. So I'm gonna have to change the measurements to 7 1/4 instead of 9 1/4, which I think will work because I don't really want to go to the store again. So I'm just gonna measure 7 1/4 all the way up this piece of wood. So as I explained, I just took my ruler, or I guess my measuring tape, and I just marked 7 1/4 inches with my pencil, and then I took my big table saw, I think that's what it's called, and I would say I definitely didn't. I got my mom to help me use this because I've literally never used this thing before, and oh my gosh, was it ever satisfying. You do want to remember to mark your piece after every cut, because if you cut like a little bit too much, a little bit too little on each like piece, they're not going to be perfectly squared. So you want to make sure you do that after every piece. I had a little mishap with picking out the wrong board, like the wrong size of board. Okay, so what I've been doing is cutting the pieces. We have 2 over here already. And if I didn't mention, I'm cutting them to 7 1/4 because my piece is 7 1/4. This is my first time using this big machine, and it's actually kind of fun, but also very scary. So mine was 7 1/4 instead of 9 1/4. It's totally fine. It worked out in the end, but just keep that in mind. Make sure you measure before you buy your wood from the store because it can be wrong. Okay, I'm back. Oh my gosh, I look ridiculous. I have glasses and earmuffs on. We're taking safety as #1 priority. Safety and camera work. I continued to cut the wood until I had 9 7 1/4 pieces. As I said before, this is kind of satisfying but also scary because using this big piece of machinery can be very scary, so you gotta be careful. So once I had cut all of my 9 1/4 pieces, I had like 6 inches left of my wood, so I just decided to cut that in half. I'm gonna cut the last 2 pieces at 3 inches each. I'm just gonna wing this last piece. That is not the measurement that the Sorry Girls put in their video, but that's what I ended up having to do. Okay, so I just measured and cut 9 of the 7 1/4 pieces and then 2 of the 3-inch pieces. And I did 3-inch pieces because that was all the wood that I had left. And I think they look really, really good. So I'm very excited to start putting this together. So everything was going great until this happened. This kind of ruined my entire day because I was planning on making this shelf and it was just pouring rain the entire time. I'm sorry, people are in the pool right now, but it has been a while. Obviously, it's not raining anymore. I have my sander over here, and then I have my pieces of wood here. I also have my nail gun all, well, not ready, but I have it all like prepared to get ready. I'm gonna wipe down the table because it's still very wet here, and then I'm going to wood glue and nail. If I didn't mention this already, this is from a Sorry Girls tutorial. I have the video of them making it on my phone. I will link the video down below if I remember. So they put some wood glue on here. I don't know how much to put. I'm terrible at filming right now. So as I said, I just took some of my wood glue and I put some on the side, and then I just used my clamp and I clamped it. Okay, I got my paper towel. I'm just gonna wipe all the wood glue from the crack. I wanna make sure that it's not showing too much. This is the scary part because I'm using the big guns. I feel like I need 2 hands. Then I just took my nail gun and nail gunned the heck out of this thing, and oh boy was this satisfying. Using a nail gun is so satisfying. It's very, very loud, but once it's all done, wow, look at me freaking go. For all the people who said I couldn't make it, just kidding. Look at me, I made an L. For freaking loser. What was the next piece that she put on? Then I just kept repeating by putting the glue on. I did it in like a line. You don't want to put too much or too little, or else it'll just squeeze out. Okay, someone freaking get this girl. So much harder with 2 pieces attached now. Let me just get this clamp on. No. my gosh! Can I use a clamp properly? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is a disaster. What is she doing? Like, I don't know what I was actually thinking when I was doing this. Flip it over so your piece. Like, I feel like I should. Here. What if I prop this up? Oh, there. Dude, I'm so smart. If I put another one in here, now it won't fall in. I'm literally a disaster. Eventually, I sort of got it. Got myself together. I don't even know. Yeah, eventually I got it though. And then I just wiped the wood glue and nail gunned. I'm actually getting the hang of this. Oh no, that was bad. Oopsie, I forgot to film. I took the head off and I dented my friggin' piece of wood. The second piece, I do have to say, is a lot harder than the other piece, but it went a lot smoother after this. I just continued with the wood glue, placing it on the correct side. I had to keep looking at the video, like the picture of the that I took from the Sorry Girls, to make sure like I was doing it on the right side, like which side the piece was supposed to go on. It was very confusing. Oh yes, here I got my sister to help me because I was having a really hard time putting the nail guns in. It was kind of difficult to like squeeze the nail gun into the very tight spaces, so that is something you have to keep in. Nope. Yeah! Okay. But I did get it done eventually. Again, repeat. I feel like I'm copying myself, whatever I'm doing. Okay, this is great. I'm great. This is so boring. I'm so sorry you guys have to watch this. I feel like this video is a mess. I just kept clamping it, wiping the glue, nail gunning. This didn't take too long and it was very satisfying to do. Okay, so this is the last piece until I put on the shorter pieces. And once I got all of the 7 1/4 pieces done, I took my 3-inch pieces and I just, oh my gosh, I just glued them onto the top and the bottom. I feel like I'm not making any sense. I'm so sorry, guys. Last nail gun. Beautiful. This is what it looks like after I glued all the pieces together and I nail gunned them. It's another day, and last night I wood filled. I don't know what I'm saying. Yesterday I wood filled all of the cracks and stuff, all of the places that needed to be wood filled. And then I did actually sand right here last night to see how it would turn out, even though the wood filler wasn't dried. And then I let it dry overnight. And now I'm here with my sander again, and I'm going to actually sand this fully. This is like the really weird sander that I had. We could not find our good sander for the life of us meaning my family. So this is what I had. It was super awkward to hold and it didn't sand like super smooth, which will be a problem that you will see later on in this video. But it did work for what it was there for, and I don't know if it's just me, but sanding is literally my favorite part. I absolutely love sanding. It just makes them like so smooth, so beautiful. It like basically makes your whole piece like come to life once you've sanded it. And obviously it makes everything so smooth, which just makes it feel so much nicer. Okay, so I just finished sanding this entire thing. Now I'm just gonna wipe it down with a wet cloth so that the stain can actually stick without all of the dust being stuck in it. Then I just took a rag and I wiped down the surface because it had a whole bunch of the dust from sanding it obviously on it, and you don't want that for doing the next part, which is the staining, because if you have little bits of like crumbs in your stain, it will like make dark spots, which will not look good at all. This is what the shelf looks like now that I've sanded and wiped it down. There's still a ton of dust on it because the table is all dusty. The next thing is to stain, which is probably the most exciting part. Okay, so now we're gonna stain it. I got this piece of cardboard on the ground because I don't want to ruin our deck, and I also don't want to ruin our grass. Well, I'm gonna have to get paint can opener. I thought I could get it open, but apparently I can't. Well, I'm waiting. I can tell you what stain I got. This is the Varathane Ultimate Wood Stain 1-Coat Coverage in the color chocolate.
You can open it.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. So I just popped open my stain with a screwdriver. Oh no, you need a popsicle stick. I'll grab that. It's okay. Off the camera. Actually, you can talk to it. Hold on.
This is my sister, and she's making herself. And so she got a beautiful color, and I think it's gonna be really nice, that color for it. I I do have 2 popsicles.
Got 2 just in case I need it. Ready for the first stroke?
Whoa.
Wow, that's really dark.
Why does that look blacky?
Oh, shoot. So, yeah, that did not go according to plan. I literally ran and I got a rag, or not a rag, a old piece of a sheet, and I wiped the stain off as fast as I could because, oh boy, that was not the color that I was thinking it was. It was a lot darker and it was not going on correctly. I just continued staining it, but I knew something wasn't right because you could see these big lines in the stain.
I think it's a really nice color.
You think it's a nice color?
Yeah.
I found out later what it was from, but I just continued staining because I didn't know what was wrong.
That isn't the color I was expecting. Why is it so thick?
I don't know. But also, why are there these like scratch marks?
That's because of your sanding. You didn't...
I was hoping everything would go back to normal, but obviously it didn't. As you heard there, my mother said it was because of my sanding, which made so much sense. There were indents that I didn't see, like you couldn't see from the bare eye, but when the stain went on, it was super obvious. Either I could keep going or I could stop and sand it, but I didn't have higher grit sandpaper, so I decided to just keep going. It ended up not being that noticeable when it was all fit, but I just keep that in mind when you're sanding. Then once I had let these stains sit, I took some of these hanging mechanisms. These are literally so hard to find in the store, but I got these at my local hardware store. They just took a very long time to find. And I just took my measuring tape and I measured out like the proper distance from one side to the other, and I made sure that they were equal and everything. This took a really long time. I cut up these clips a lot, but this took me so long to figure out if they were spaced correctly. And then I just screwed them in. I actually had to get different screws because the screws that came with the kit were too long. Then I just did this on the other side of my thing, and I have to say now, do not do this. Only put the hanging mechanism on one side. When I was hanging it, as you will see later, it was a huge disaster.
Oops, sorry.
I made sure that a screw could get in, and then yeah, as I said before, hanging it. This is what happened trying to hang it. So getting the screws in the right place on both sides is legitimately impossible. So when I was hanging up my shelf, or I guess trying to hang up my shelf broke. Like the whole piece just broke. Like the whole top shelf just snapped right off. It was actually my mom that broke it, and she felt terrible, and I was like, it's okay. But yeah, I just put some more wood glue and then quickly clamped it, and it worked out fine, definitely. Then I got my dad to help me. I don't even know what to say. It was so difficult to hang. I don't even think it's on properly right now, but it's good enough. This is what it looked like when it was all hung up. I don't even know what to say. It was so hard to hang up. So yeah, as I said, just do the hanging mechanism on one side. Don't pick both. I thought it was going to be much more sturdy if I did them on both sides, which it is, but it's impossible to line them up. I feel like that didn't make any sense. Once I had got it all sturdy, or as sturdy as I thought it could be, I decorated it, and this is my favorite part. I absolutely love decorating things, but I do find that it takes the longest because I never know what looks good together. I don't think I'm very good at interior decorating. I just really like it. So it took me a really long time to figure out which one would go on which shelf, and so on and so forth, because that's just my indecisive mind. But eventually I got somewhere to where I liked it, and so this is how the final shelf turned out. There were so many ups and downs, so many twists and turns, but I'm so happy with how this shelf turned out. I think it looks absolutely great. Absolutely amazing. I love it so much. I think the Sorry Girls tutorial was very helpful. I do have to say that I wish they did like longer clips of the things, because in their video it was like 30 seconds or whatever. It was very quick and I had to keep like rewinding it and watching things. Anyway, if you guys liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below, because I'm trying to hit 400 subscribers and I would really appreciate it if you could make that happen. I feel like that just like went all together. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!